Okay, so now that we've made our building blocks, let's go and we're going to make some new textures for 3 new blocks. One that will be like a false block and you can fall right on through to be like a trap. Another trap that when you walk on it, it will strike you with lightning and kill you. And finally, we'll make one that explodes like TNT. It won't be exactly like TNT, but it can be pretty similar. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to duplicate this texture because I want to use mud brick as my base. So I'm going to click it, and I'm going to go to resources here, and I'm going to click on mud brick, and I'm going to duplicate selected. Oh, this is really cool. This is new. And I'm going to say this is still going to be a block. And now we're going to call this mud brick fall trap text. Okay, now it can be really hard to tell. Like, it will still be highlighted on and it'll look like it created it over here and this is my new thing, but I do not want to edit the wrong one because if I edit mud brick texture, then all of these will be changed and that will be annoying. So I'm gonna make sure I edit mud brick, let's wait, fall trap texture. So in the fall trap, I'm going to, I know I called this fall trap, but I'm going to duplicate it right now so that I don't, because I was going to make it kind of transparent and stuff, and I actually don't want to make it transparent and then redo it. So we're going to make this mud brick lightning trap text. Okay, so now we have mud texture, mud brick. Showed it for a second there. Lightning trap texture and mud brick fall trap texture. So for the lightning trap texture, it's this one and fall trap. Lightning trap, we're gonna make it. Let's do kind of like a maybe blue or yellow in these cracks to kind of make it look like it is some weird lightning version of it. And what the heck? There's no transparency there. So that was really weird. You know, when I tried to open this, transparency wasn't here. But I closed and reopened MCreator. So if you ever have your transparency just not be there, I've never seen that before, but I guess it can happen. Just close and reopen it. And let's make this kind of blue, because I like the idea of it being like an electric sort of blue. And let's see what that looks like. Well, that looks pretty good. So now that will tell people, this block is different. That's because it will strike you with lightning. It is a trap. I feel like it's too obvious. That's okay. Great. There we go. Yeah, save this texture. Now I have my lightning trap. You can see it's blue, and this should be the fall trap. So for this one, like I said, if you make something transparent and you instead erase with transparency, then that will make that transparent. Oops, a little too transparent. So let's have it go what we do very minorly for the whole thing. Oops. Yeah, that's not what I meant. I meant like this way. Very minorly transparent over the whole thing. So it's very slightly transparent. So I don't know if you can tell too well there, but I think it should be noticeable in game. And then I'm going to make it more transparent over just like the lines. Oops. Drawing. There we go. Oh my god. This is just classic. There we go. Too obvious. I'm going to turn it down just a bit. Now I'm just going to have to call it good, whatever it is. I don't mind, I just had a little slip into the crack there. That's okay, it doesn't really matter. We're just doing a tutorial. Now you'll be able to tell that this is a false block, kind of like a ghost block. And if you step on it, you'll fall right on through. Save this texture. Sweet. So now I have the textures for them. Oh, and let's make one more. That will be for the exploding block. And I'll just create a new texture. Sure, I don't normally create textures like that, but that is a way to do it. To just go and click Create New Texture. And create texture. And we will make it a template. Something that I don't want to have to like worry about. I could do TNT on all sides. I'm gonna do RGB noise. That's what it sure looks like. But kind of cool. They have all these like weird ones. Go with this. This seems kind of cool. Create. Let's just paint it orangish red. Transparent. Big like. Another one, that's good. And now let's go to yellow. Pure yellow. More transparent, I believe, would be good. Let's make it all small again. Do just a ring around the outside. And this little inside thing we can do as yellow too. It's all good. Again, you guys, I like to use those base things that they give in. So I think they look pretty good and they're really easy for doing this pretty fast. So you can make a decent looking texture in just a couple seconds, but you can always just do it yourself too. There's a whole bunch of ways to do it. Okay, save this texture and we're going to call it Exploding Block. Okay. Let's see how much time we got left. We're about halfway through, so I'm good to keep this open. Okay. So, workspace, oh, it's saved, great. Let's go back to mod elements, back into building, and let's make our first block. So, I'm going to make this, yeah, I'll duplicate this one for the mud brick ones. At least, so this one will be mud brick lightning trap. Duplicate. So now, here's our lightning trap. Mud brick lightning trap. And let's go. Anything we need to do right here? I think it's in properties. We're going to say you can, oh, this is for the other one. Let's first, I should actually change the texture. This is a lightning trap. Let's choose the lightning trap texture, and I'm going to have to go through and select all these to be the lightning one. It's pretty obvious which one that is. We don't want it to generate or anything. We do want it triggers. So I know this is called the block procedures, but really we're just kind of doing more complicated blocks. Okay, so to make a lightning trap, we're going to want to make it so that when the player steps on the block, that we call this code. So let's go when entity walks on block. That seems good to me. We're going to do press plus, create procedure, and the first thing is strike lightning at. Now, if I wanted, I could just duplicate this over and over again, just to ensure that they died, sort of thing. If it's like they're supposed to die, but we can also look up and do damage and deal damage. We could just say deal 1,000 damage, and then it will just kill them regardless. And let's say lightning bolt, so that if they die, they know it was from the lightning strike. We can do that there. And sometimes it's kind of cool to have multiple lightning strikes because then you'll hear the sound multiple times. You could even do a little delay. Let's see if there's, yeah, maybe it's wait. Yes, wait server side, then do. And so I could do this, then wait 20 ticks. And so if they survive, they actually have that long to get off the thing, and then they will die. And let's make that even less, because I don't know how long that is. I think that's like a full second. So this should be half a second. Then I'll strike lightning again, and then should have killed them. Cool. I mean, it doesn't seem like it really matters if you get off the block and it waits. But I don't know, maybe that'll be more interesting. Save mod element. And we can save this mod element as well. Always save mod element though. And there's our mud brick lightning. And so now let's make another one. I'm going to duplicate it again. And this will be called mud brick ghost trap. So, mud brick ghost trap, the thing with this one is that it is this transparent texture. Fall trap, there we go. I had to hover over it to know, because that's the basic one, and this is the falling trap one. Be slightly tedious, and you just want to be sure that you got every single one to be the right texture, but I sure think I did. So now I'm going to... This one, it's really important that I say it's transparency. So it is translucent. Check this block if your block has transparent parts. It does, so I'm going to check that. Check this to enable connected sides. It should only be used with transparent blocks. I want this because if I have multiple together, I want them to look like their sides are connected. And I don't need to worry about that one. Properties, change the name, mud brick, ghost, trap. So we made it so that it's transparent or translucent using this. But now we will go to properties and we need to make sure that it's also opaque to light, because it is a see-through block. It would only make sense that light goes through it as well, because otherwise it will just create a dark thing, and I think that's how it is for my test, but I'm going to make it so that it is mostly opaque to light, so light will shine through. Like if I made a big cube of this and went inside the cube with light opacity at 15, that would be like being in a cube of cobblestone or something, and it would be entirely dark in there. But by making it opaque to light, sunlight will go through now. And finally, this property here can walk through the block. Yes, I want it so that you fall right on through it. And I could say that it's unbreakable too, because it's like a false block. And you can always do that. But I guess I will, just for fun. And now let's do the last one, and this will be our exploding block. So we're going to go click plus, and let's make a new block. And what is this called? Exploding block. Very exciting. Left overlay will be our texture, and it will go everywhere. And now we can go to triggers, because I don't really worry about the rest of this. I mean, it'll sound like dirt when you break it, but that's okay, because as soon as you try and break it, it should explode. So this procedure I'm going to do is when block destroyed by an explosion. So if you explode a block, if you explode this block, it should also explode. So that's good. So then we'll do remove block at, and this will just make sure that I don't have to worry about exploding the block that explodes. And then I will explode at with power 7 is just nice and strong. I kind of like that. It's like stronger than regular. It's not too crazy. Okay, we're doing good. And let's, I think that should be good, right? Yeah, save that. And then we can do when player starts to destroy it, how about it calls the same thing? So I'm looking for exploding block destroyed by explosion. When neighbor block changes, when block added, when right block clicked. I could do when right block clicked. I could even do when, let's see if I can. let's start by doing this one. Just in case they start to destroy it. If they manage to destroy it, then it will explode again. I don't imagine that's possible because they should call this and remove the block. But just in case, we'll do that. When they redstone on, we'll do that. So if it gets any redstone, then it will explode, and that's good. Hit pipe projectile, that could be kind of fun. We may as well. Oops, and this is redstone off. So let's make it redstone on, it explodes. And that should be good. I'm just going to see if we can make a new procedure and get what's in the entity's hand. Set item in offhand. I want to get item in offhand. Item in offhand. Okay, and let's go to Minecraft components. It's equal to the flint and steel. So, and then we can go to flow control. How about logic? There we go. So, if the item in your offhand is equal to a flint and steel, which catches stuff on fire, then it is going to do the same procedure. Remove block of XYZ and explode. Power 7. And I could make different ones so that depending on what you do to this block, it explodes bigger. Maybe it's a redstone explosion, so it explodes really easily from other stuff, but it only explodes with like power 1 or 2. But if you explode it with redstone, it actually gets the redstone level and explodes to that much, depending on how much redstone power you put in it, or something like that. So there's a lot of fun little things you can do with this. But now let's save mod element, and save that, and let's test these weird blocks that we just made. So we are back in our little test world. So let's just start. Here's our ghost trap block. You can see that. Put multiple of them together, and we could just walk right on through this wall. So that's cool. Here's our lightning trap block, and huge lightning explosion. The double lightning is fun, I'm telling you. Don't put it next to wood, though. This block, I mean. Yeah, that's intense. You definitely die very fast. So that's fun. And if we put the mud brick next to it, it kind of creates like a fun thing where it's like, oh, there's a secret room here. So if it's all dark and stuff and you're just walking along, it's really hard to tell. But once you look at it, it's like, oh, wait. And you can go into the secret room. You could also do it as a hobby, a little parkour thing, where there's like, you have to jump from thing to thing. But really, most of them are false. So you have to figure out where is safe to jump, you know? Like, can you get there? I'm right here, and I made it. Oh, I just barely made it. But if I missed, whoosh, I fall right on through. So that's fun. And if you look from under, you can kind of see it a little better. So that's how that see-through block works, how this block works, and now the exploding block. That was so if I do an exploding block, it can explode in a few ways. One of them is just by pressing the pressure plate down, and it explodes. We could also do a thing where I think game mode creative game mode survival. And now, if I even start to destroy this block, it explodes. Yep, Dev blew up. Poor Dev. Finally, the last thing I wanted to talk about was game mode creative. Something from the building blocks video didn't actually work, and that is our pillars. So the pillar was supposed to let you climb it like a ladder. But for some reason, the walls seem to be broken because they can connect next to blocks, but they can't seem to connect to each other, which is very odd. I've never seen that before. So the walls currently are glitchy. They're just pillars. And they're not even climbable, so that's disappointing. But they are still kind of cool looking. Make a little maze of pillars to go through. This is pillar, 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 and you gotta be like, oh, I guess it's this way. And so that could be kind of fun. Yeah, I don't know why they're not turning into walls. Every single update, there's glitches, and so I guess that is just one of the glitches of 2022.2. Despite the glitches of every single update, I generally recommend that you always keep updated, because even while they have glitches, they usually have more content as well. And more content just means more things that the kids can play with. Okay. That should be done for this video.